Story 2. The Oval Portrait by Edgar Allan Poe. Summary. In Edgar Allan Poe's The Oval Portrait, the central theme revolves around the complex relationship between life and art. The story delves into the idea that art can be both captivating and destructive, blurring the lines between reality and artistic representation. The story begins with a wounded and delirious narrator seeking refuge in an old mansion, where he becomes fixated on an oval portrait of a young woman. As he reads about the painting's history, he learns that the woman depicted was the artist's young bride. The painter becomes obsessed with capturing her likeness in the portrait, neglecting his wife in the process. The more he immerses himself in his art, the weaker his wife becomes, eventually leading to her death just as he completes the painting. The story prompts various interpretations about the connection between life and art. One perspective sees it as a cautionary tale, warning against the dangers of prioritizing art over real-life relationships. The artist's obsession with his work leads to the tragic demise of his beloved wife, suggesting that losing touch with reality can have fatal consequences. Another interpretation views the story as an exploration of the price of great art. It highlights the idea that exceptional art often comes at a cost, and artists may sacrifice personal relationships or neglect real-life concerns in pursuit of their craft. The oval portrait's lifelike quality symbolizes the triumph of art in capturing the essence of life, but it also serves as a reminder of the sacrifices made to achieve such artistic mastery. Furthermore, the story does not explicitly moralize or provide a clear conclusion. The absence of a direct framing or commentary on the story's meaning allows readers to draw their own inferences about the themes and messages within the narrative. This ambiguity adds to the complexity of the story, inviting readers to engage in deeper contemplation and reflection. Overall, The Oval Portrait is a thought-provoking exploration of the intricate relationship between art and life. It raises questions about the impact of artistic pursuits on personal relationships and the sacrifices artists make in their creative endeavors. Poe's skillful storytelling and use of ambiguity make this short tale a compelling and enduring piece of literature that continues to resonate with readers to this day. Understanding the text. Answer these questions. Where did the narrator and his servant make a forcible entrance? In The Oval Portrait by Edgar Allan Poe, the wounded narrator and his servant Pedro seek refuge in a deserted chateau in the Apennines of Italy. Pedro is concerned about the narrator's condition and insists on finding shelter. They forcibly enter the chateau without permission, as there is no one present to grant them access. The chateau becomes the setting where the narrator encounters the haunting oval portrait, and the story unfolds, exploring the relationship between life and art. The forced entrance into the chateau symbolizes the intrusiveness of the outside world into the realm of art and raises questions about the boundaries between reality and artistic creation. Which special picture did the narrator notice in the room? In The Oval Portrait by Edgar Allan Poe, the narrator's attention is drawn to an oval-shaped picture of a young girl in the room when the candelabram's light illuminates it. The beauty of the young girl depicted in the portrait captivates the narrator, and he becomes intensely curious about its history. He reads the book he found on the bed to uncover the story behind the portrait. The picture's allure and the mysterious history behind it engage the narrator's mind, driving him to delve deeper into the past of this captivating artwork. Poe skillfully creates an atmosphere of intrigue and fascination as the narrator becomes absorbed in the enigmatic tale behind the oval portrait. Describe the portrait that the narrator saw in the room. In The Oval Portrait by Edgar Allan Poe, the narrator is struck by the artistic beauty and lifelike quality of the oval-shaped portrait in the room. When the rays of the candelabrum fall on it, the portrait comes to life with rich decorative details. The young girl in the portrait appears on the verge of womanhood, and her radiant hair and expressive features seem incredibly real. The narrator is captivated by the skillful brushwork and tints that bring the portrait to life. He is so astonished by the portrait's realism that he cannot believe his eyes and feels a sudden impulse to keep gazing at this remarkable piece of artistic creativity. Poe's vivid descriptions evoke the enchanting power of art and its ability to mesmerize the viewer. What is the relationship between the portrait painter and its subject? In The Oval Portrait by Edgar Allan Poe, The relationship between the portrait painter and the subject is that of husband and wife. The husband, who is a passionate painter, has devoted many weeks to capturing the likeness of his young wife in the portrait. He becomes increasingly obsessed with the painting, spending all his time on it and neglecting his wife in the process. The story highlights the tragic consequences of this obsession, as the wife becomes weaker and eventually dies due to her husband's preoccupation with the artwork. Poe's narrative delves into the complex dynamics between art and life, emphasizing the toll that artistic pursuit can take on personal relationships. Reference to the context. What is the central theme of the story? Who is the woman depicted in the oval portrait? In the oval portrait, the central theme revolves around the intricate relationship between life and art, showcasing both the creative potential and destructive consequences of passion. The story highlights the painter's obsession with his art, leading to neglect of his wife, who becomes a victim of his fervent artistic pursuits. The narrative serves as a cautionary tale, warning against the dangers of unchecked passion, as the wife's sacrifice for her husband's art ultimately leads to her demise. Through the portrayal of this destructive power of art and love, the story emphasizes the need for a balanced approach to pursue one's passions while nurturing meaningful human connections. The Oval Portrait is a short horror story by Edgar Allan Poe involving the disturbing circumstances surrounding a portrait in a chateau. Elaborate. The Oval Portrait skillfully creates a haunting and desolate setting in a chateau located in the desolate mountains of central Italy, Apennines. The story describes the chateau as old-fashioned, deserted, and unkempt, giving it a gloomy atmosphere. The apartments inside the chateau are dirty and in disarray, with decaying decorations adding to the eerie ambience. The lifelike portrait, placed in a dark corner, contrasts sharply with the neglected surroundings. The arrival of the wounded narrator and his valet further adds a sense of distance and discomfort to the environment. The portrayal of the lifelike portrait amid the desolation of the chateau underscores the central theme of the story, exploring the relationship between life and art and the destructive consequences of artistic passion. The Oval Portrait suggests that the woman's beauty condemns her to death. Discuss. In The Oval Portrait, the story suggests a tragic irony where the woman's beauty ultimately leads to her untimely death. The painter, consumed by his passion for art, becomes so engrossed in capturing his wife's likeness that he fails to notice her deteriorating health. As he spends weeks painting her portrait, his obsession with his artistic work takes precedence over his concern for his wife's well-being. By the time he completes the portrait, he discovers that his beloved wife has succumbed to her weakened state and lies dead on the chair. The story serves as a cautionary tale, warning of the destructive power of artistic obsession and the potential consequences of neglecting the real-life relationships in pursuit of art. Discuss the story as a framed narrative, a story within a story. In The Oval Portrait, Edgar Allan Poe employs the frame narrative technique to present a story within a story. The initial plot introduces the wounded narrator seeking refuge in a desolate chateau, with his valet, Pedro. The readers follow this storyline, only to be drawn into the next story when the narrator encounters the captivating oval portrait in the room. As the narrator reads the history of the portrait, the next level of the story unfolds, revealing the tragic tale of the artist's wife and the destructive power of art. The frame narrative technique allows Poe to seamlessly transition between different narratives, creating a layered and engaging storytelling experience for the readers. The story is told in a descriptive style, with plenty of imagery and symbolism. Which images and symbols do you find in the story? In The Oval Portrait, Edgar Allan Poe masterfully uses various images and symbols to create a haunting and evocative atmosphere. A desolate chateau. The setting of the desolate and decaying chateau in the Apennines creates a dark and eerie backdrop for the story, setting the tone for the Gothic elements to come. Oval Portrait. The central image and symbol of the story, the oval portrait of the young girl on the verge of womanhood, represents both the beauty of life and the destructive power of art. It becomes a focal point of the narrator's fascination and plays a pivotal role in the story's theme. Rays of light. When the candelabram's rays fall on the oval portrait, it accentuates its lifelike qualities and captivates the narrator. The interplay of light and darkness adds to the story's mysterious and eerie ambience. A book. The book the narrator finds on the bed provides background information about the oval portrait and its history. It acts as a catalyst for the story within the story. Eat darkness and light. Throughout the narrative, Poe employs contrasts between darkness and light to emphasize the duality of themes like life and death, love and obsession, and reality in art. Historical background. The history of the oval portrait symbolizes the painter's obsession and neglect of his wife in favor of his artwork. It also reflects the idea that great art often comes at the cost of personal sacrifice. Time during artwork. The passage of time during the creation of the portrait symbolizes the painter's increasing obsession, which ultimately leads to the death of his wife. The paintings in the shadow. The other paintings in the shadow represent various scenes and emotions, contributing to the overall eerie and atmospheric ambience of the setting. These images and symbols play a crucial role in conveying the story's themes of the destructive power of art, the sacrifice of love, and the interplay between life and creativity. Poe's descriptive style and masterful use of symbolism contribute to the story's enduring impact on readers. What does the expression "she was dead" mean? In the oval portrait, the phrase "the expression was dead" marks a pivotal and shocking moment in the story when the painter's wife meets her tragic end. The painter's intense obsession with his art causes him to neglect his wife's well-being completely. He becomes consumed by his task of capturing her likeness in the portrait and loses sight of the reality around him. As the weeks pass and the painter continues his artistic endeavor, his wife's health deteriorates, unbeknownst to him. When he finally completes the portrait and turns it towards his wife with pride and satisfaction, he is met with the haunting sight of her lifeless body posed in the chair. The artwork, which he considered a masterpiece, inadvertently becomes the instrument of her demise. This moment of realization highlights the destructive power of art and the consequences of prioritizing creativity over human connection. The phrase "the expression was dead" serves as a poignant reminder of the tragic cost of the painter's obsession and the loss of his beloved wife. It underscores the central theme of the story, which explores the complex relationship between life and art and the sacrifices that may come with artistic pursuits. Reference beyond the text. Do you think there is life in art? The statement "there is no life in art" can be interpreted in different ways depending on the context and perspective. In a literal sense, it is true that art itself is an inanimate object or creation, whether it be a painting, sculpture, or any other form of artistic expression. Art is a product of human creativity and craftsmanship, and it does not possess inherent life or consciousness. However, from a figurative perspective, one can argue that art can indeed come alive through its ability to evoke emotions, provoke thoughts, and connect with the viewer on a profound level. Art has the power to transcend time and space, carrying the essence of the artist's emotions and ideas into the hearts of those who engage with it. In this sense, art breathes life into the emotions and messages it conveys. Moreover, artists infuse their work with life by drawing inspiration from real-life experiences, observations, and emotions. They inject their own essence into their creations, making art an extension of their own life force. The act of creating art can be deeply personal and transformative for the artist, and this energy can be transferred to the viewer, allowing them to connect with the artwork in a meaningful way. Art also has the potential to reflect and capture the essence of life itself. Through depictions of human experiences, landscapes, and cultural expressions, art becomes a mirror of life, portraying both its beauty and its challenges. It can serve as a means of preserving and celebrating the diversity and complexity of human existence. In some philosophical and spiritual traditions, art is seen as a form of expression that can embody the soul and spirit of the artist, giving life to intangible thoughts and emotions. It becomes a medium through which artists can communicate the deepest aspects of their being to the world. In conclusion, while art itself is not a living being, it possesses a unique power to animate emotions, ideas, and experiences. Artists breathe life into their work through their creativity and personal connection to their creations. Art has the ability to inspire, move, and challenge viewers, making it a vibrant and dynamic force in human culture and expression. The saying "there is no life in art" can be seen as a paradox, as it highlights the distinction between the physical object and the life-giving essence that art can embody. As a thing of art, nothing could be more admirable than the painting itself. Explain. The statement that painting is really a very admirable form of art holds true when considering the beauty and depth that can be achieved through this medium. Painting is a visual art form that allows artists to express their ideas, emotions, and observations through the use of colors, lines, and shapes on a canvas. It is a form of communication that transcends language barriers and speaks directly to the viewer's emotions and imagination. Painters indeed work hard to create quality paintings with deep meanings. Each stroke of the brush, each choice of color, and each composition is carefully considered to convey a specific message or evoke a particular mood. The level of skill and craftsmanship required in painting is immense, and it often takes years of practice and dedication for artists to master their craft. The power of painting lies in its ability to provide us with a glimpse into the artist's perspective and interpretation of the world. Through their work, painters can capture the beauty of nature, the complexities of human emotions, the passage of time, and the essence of various subjects. Paintings have the ability to transport viewers to different places and time periods, allowing them to experience a sense of connection with the past and a vision of the future. In the story, The Oval Portrait itself serves as a captivating example of the power of painting. The narrator becomes enthralled by the lifelike depiction of the young girl on the canvas. The painting seems to come alive, drawing the viewer into its world and stirring curiosity about the artist and the subject. This reflects the impact that a well-executed painting can have on its audience, engaging them on both intellectual and emotional levels. Furthermore, paintings often carry deeper meanings and symbolisms that can be interpreted in various ways. The use of symbolism in painting allows artists to convey complex ideas and themes that go beyond the surface image. Viewers are encouraged to contemplate and analyze the painting, seeking to uncover hidden messages or multiple layers of meaning. In conclusion, painting is indeed an admirable form of art that has the power to captivate, inspire, and provoke thought. It serves as a visual language through which artists can communicate their thoughts and emotions, leaving a lasting impression on the viewers. The beauty and meaning found in paintings enrich our understanding of the world and provide us with unique insights into the human experience. See, a more intense look at the painting reveals the illusion. Have you noticed any such painting? The Mona Lisa is a renowned portrait painted by the Italian artist Leonardo da Vinci during the early 16th century. It is one of the most famous and iconic works of art in the world. The painting depicts a woman with a serene and enigmatic expression, known for her subtle smile. She is positioned against a natural landscape with a winding river and distant mountains. The painting showcases Leonardo's mastery in using sfumato, a technique that blends colors and contours smoothly, creating a soft, lifelike appearance. The Mona Lisa continues to captivate viewers with its mysterious aura and timeless beauty. Indeed, a closer examination of the Mona Lisa reveals various illusions and subtle details that add to the painting's enigmatic quality. One of the most famous illusions is the subject's smile, which seems to change depending on the viewer's perspective. When viewed directly, her smile appears elusive, but when the viewer looks away and then back at the painting, it seems to intensify. Another illusion lies in the subject's eyes. Leonardo da Vinci masterfully created an effect known as sfumato around her eyes, giving the impression of depth and soulfulness. The eyes seem to follow the viewer, creating an illusion of constant engagement. Furthermore, the landscape in the background appears to be receding into the distance, adding a sense of depth and dimension to the painting. The use of atmospheric perspective makes the landscape appear hazy and mysterious, contributing to the painting's overall sense of realism. Leonardo's meticulous attention to detail in the clothing and the subject's hair also adds to the illusion of reality in the painting. The delicate brushwork and subtle variations in color create a lifelike texture, making the figure seem almost tangible. The Mona Lisa is a masterpiece that embodies the principles of Renaissance art, and its illusions have fascinated art enthusiasts and scholars for centuries. The painting's ability to create an emotional connection with viewers and its sense of realism have made it one of the most celebrated works of art in history. Its allure lies not only in the subject's mysterious smile but also in the countless illusions and intricate details that Leonardo da Vinci infused into the painting, making it a timeless and enduring piece of art. In conclusion, the meaning of a painting is undoubtedly enriched when viewed by someone who is passionate about art. Their enthusiasm and knowledge allow them to explore the painting's depth and connect with it on a profound level. However, art is open to interpretation, and each viewer, regardless of their level of expertise, can find their own meaning and appreciation in a painting. Whether one sees an illusion or a masterpiece, the beauty of art lies in its ability to evoke emotions, spark curiosity, and encourage contemplation in all who encounter it. Best of luck!